running. Just another dime a dozen mom and pop stop and shop. And oh my God, it's gotten too darn hot. Like my man Cole Porter said, people come through for a few cold waters and a lottery ticket, just a part of the routine. Everybody's got a job, everybody's got a dream. They gossip as I sip my coffee and smirk. The first stop is people hop to work. What's it? I'm like $1, $2, $1.50, $1.69. I got it. You want a box of condoms? What kind? That's 2 quarters, 2-quarter waters. The New York Times, you need a bag for that. The tax is added. Once you get some practice at it, you do rapid mathematics automatically. Selling maxi pads, fuzzy dice for taxi cabs. Practically everybody's stressed, yes, but they press through the mess, bounce checks, and wonder what's next.
In the Heights, I find my coffee and I go. I buy my coffee and set my sights on only what I need to know. What I need to know. In the Heights, money is tight, but even so, when the lights go down, I pass my radio.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's music and lyrics for Broadway's In the Heights earned him a Tony Award for Best Original Score. Miranda, who created the first version of the musical when he was in college, also starred in the original Broadway cast of In the Heights. John Mark Raffas speaks with Miranda about his childhood in northern Manhattan, his immigrant parents, and his motivation for writing what would become a Tony-winning Best Musical. Miranda also talks about his love for both old-school musicals and hip-hop culture.
I know that the show followed a long road to get to Broadway, but the original version that you wrote was way back when you were a sophomore at Wesleyan College, and I know that you grew up in the northern end of Manhattan. What was going on with you when you were at Wesleyan, and why did you decide to write the show?
Well, a couple of things. Some mundane, some not. Mundane reason is my high school sweetheart into college sweetheart went to study abroad, so suddenly I had a ton of time on my hands. Not so mundane reason, my sophomore year, the year I wrote the show, or started writing the show, I was living in a program house for Latino community leaders called La Casa, and it was the first time I'd really had Latino friends my age who were like me, parents, a lot of them first generation, and were as conversant in their Latino culture as they were with their American culture, having grown up here. And starting to realize that this was fair game as writing territory. I'd written shows before, but I'd never really addressed Latino issues. I had the same bifurcated childhood I think a lot of first-generation kids have, which is that you speak your home language at home, and then you have your home culture at home, and then you have sort of American culture with everyone else at school. And so it was really my first time delving into all of that and writing Latin music and sort of expressing, bringing what I experienced at home and in my neighborhood at home and writing about it.
In your case, that home culture came from your parents who grew up in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, your character in the Heights, Usnavi, is supposed to be from the Dominican Republic. I take it that's because Washington Heights is predominantly Dominican?
Correct. My parents are Puerto Rican, but I grew up in an overwhelmingly Dominican neighborhood, although it's getting more diverse by the day. And I felt like our protagonist has to be from here. That's the fairest way to portray the neighborhood.
You have talked and written a lot about your parents' work ethic and how you don't recall them ever having just one job at a time.
Yeah.
How did that play into who you are?
In a couple of fundamental ways. I think the most fundamental was that when you have parents like that, hanging out as a concept doesn't make a lot of sense to you. My friends would say, hey, we're going to go hang out. Okay, well, what are we going to do? No, we're going to go out and just hang out on the corner.
Right.
Well, I don't understand what that means. What are we going to accomplish? It's making every event a goal-oriented event is something that came to both my sister and I. It was hereditary for both of us.
Right.
And then the other sort of unexpected side effect, too, which I think I probably lamented at the time and now I'm very grateful for, is that my parents weren't home a lot. They both worked very long hours. I would see them. In a lot of ways, I was like a kid of divorced parents. I would see them more on the weekends And then during the week, you're lucky if you stay up late enough for them to get home. So I was a very self-entertained kid.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of my childhood memories are me by myself, drawing or reading or making up something or making home movies by myself. So I kind of got very comfortable in the solitude it takes to become a writer.
So In the Heights is this amazing combination of Latin music, but with a very sentimental, traditional Broadway kind of story, very family-oriented, very neighborhood-oriented. How did those two elements come together in your life?
Well, I think, most simply, it's because our entire creative team really has an old school love for musical theater. I think we all grew up appreciating it, and I think we wanted to tell a story firmly within that tradition. What we wanted to do was bring a contemporary sound to that tradition, because popular music and theater music used to be friends once upon a time, and I think we wanted to reintroduce them. But really, it's because we really come by that love for musical theater honestly. Fiddler was a big touchstone for all of us, as was Rent, as was West Side Story, and we look to the musical theater tradition a lot in terms of guiding us in terms of structure.
You, of course, in the original Broadway production, had the role of Usnavi, and his character, most of his singing is done in the form of rap, and I know that that's played a huge part in your life on and off the stage. Why do you think that rap has not been used more often in Broadway productions?
I have a very academic answer for this, which is that I really do believe that hip-hop is its own lyrical tradition, and there are fundamental ways in which it deviates from musical theater tradition.
And yet you found a way to marry the two.
Well, yeah, and it really is a thing of threading the needle. There is a lot of emphasis in musical theater on pure rhyme, on not just having, and in pop music that's gone by the wayside. You can rhyme Pink can rhyme mood with groove, and no one bats an eye. But if you were to do that in a musical theater song, people would be like, oh, sloppy, get out. But with hip-hop, it's a very different thing than even pop music, which is that you find that the unexpected assonant rhymes are rewarded. And it's not just about, making a clever rhyme. It's about making two words that don't rhyme work due to the skill and wordplay of the rapper in question. And so, I'm very aware of both traditions, and so I really had to thread the needle in terms of making it feel satisfying to a musical theater audience, and yet making sure a hip-hop head wouldn't be bored thinking, oh, it's June Moon. Something that's revered in one tradition is not so revered in the other, and so it really is line by line, case by case. Is it more valuable to us to have a really good pure rhyme here, or is it more valuable to go Cole Porter, cold water, because that's going to surprise everyone.
Did your parents take you to the theater?
Not a lot. I think you see a musical on someone's birthday, or if as a reward for having done something really good. I think I'd only seen 4 musicals all through my childhood on Broadway. It was the trifecta of what was going on. It was like Phantom, Cats, Les Mis, the 4 that you see if you go to New York. For me, the real education from my parents, it wasn't any of the academic stuff I'm telling you now. It was more the fact that I remember when my parents brought home the Les Mis soundtrack, and my mother would burst into tears every time Bring Him Home came on. And just seeing the way that theater music moved to my parents in a way that really nothing else did, I think had a very powerful effect on me as a kid. And then the musical theater knowledge and education was really sort of self-taught growing up, getting to direct a musical in high school. I got to direct West Side Story my senior year, and then majoring in theater at Wesleyan is where I sort of filled in the academic and the know-how of it.
The show closed in January of this year, and you were actually there for the last 2 weeks. I
did. I started on Christmas Day, and I was there without a tech rehearsal. It was the craziest Christmas night of my life, but it really was such a joyous end. That last show I will never forget, because we had an audience of 1,400 people who knew every word in line. And so, the blackout happened, and 1,300 cell phones came out in the audience along with ours. And it was like unbelievable. And then, we do the number Carnaval, and the audience was clapping along. But not only were they clapping along, that number changes tempo so much, they clapped along and knew when to drop out as well. I mean, it really was an extraordinary night, and joyous. It wasn't bittersweet at all. It just felt joyous.
Tickets are on sale for the touring Broadway production of In the Heights, coming October 18, 2011 to Penn State's Eisenhower Auditorium. Purchase tickets online at www.cpa.psu.edu or by phone at 1-800-ARTS-TIX.